Hi, welcome. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to begin this. We are currently starting Module 1, and I just kind of want to walk you through it. Now, if you still have this welcome course information up here, one thing I said it in the introductory video, but I'll remind you, if you click this, it will shrink it up. Any module you click will shrink up. And once you shrink it up, next time you open, it will shrink up. It may pop up open when you first open it, but once you shrink something, it will shrink it until you open it. If you leave it open, it'll open it the next time. So whatever your last default was is where it's at. So sometimes I like to just close everything that I'm not using because I like to, I like to just have as little on the page as possible. So, don't worry about having to scroll past and find every time, just minimize that and get to there. So you've already you're in the intro video, which is what you're watching right now. But if you click on checklists and outcomes, if you haven't already, if you click on that, this has a list, kind of a description of what we're doing, has learning outcomes, and then the information. Now, if you click on this, this will give you your Mod 1 outcomes. It'll also give you your checklist for the next few modules or all the modules. So I would highly recommend you print this if you haven't already. This becomes very useful. This first one has kind of the learning objectives in with it. And then after that, this is kind of your week by week, goal by goal, instructions. You can just print this Word file. I would recommend you do it. That way you can cross it off and keep it nearby to keep track of where you're at. Now, with that said, that's kind of the first thing you have there. As you go into future weeks, you can also, I'll just kind of note this, and I think I already noted it, but if you go into learning outcomes, they're separate from the goals and checklist. If you click on that, it will bring up the learning outcomes for, oh, I didn't open there, but anyway, it'll give you the learning outcomes for each module. Oh, I gave you one master, but it gives you for each one of those. I would recommend each week, each time you start a new module, you print that out. The reason I would print that out is because it's nice for review for the final. That list of what you've learned is going to be useful to kind of go, okay, I remember learning that. I know those ideas. It's a good review sheet mechanism. So that's available here in Mod 1. And it's also available in future modules. So I would print those out not only for the schedule and checklist, but I would also do it as a review mechanism. Now, with that said, see, you notice it opened wide and then it closed as I was scrolling. So that's just kind of to make note of that. You're going to have a lesson here. If you click lesson on what is philosophy, you're going to click it. It's going to open up this page. I think this is the only one I have like this soft chalk. I might develop some more. These are some older videos and information. But you go through and it's got a little lesson. You can watch some videos as you go through. And it just kind of talks about what is philosophy. Since logic is a philosophy topic, that's why you have that there. There's also a discussion board, getting to know you. It's just a discussion board where you can kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, that type of thing. So that's there. And then there's the exam. And the exam, and this one is worth 50 points. And you will have 45 minutes to complete it. It's 25 multiple choice questions. About half of the questions will come from the syllabus. So if you have already gone through everything in this course introduction, begin here, read through the syllabus, etc., and you have done that, then you'll be fine. That's kind of where that's at. It's about things from the syllabus, from that introductory stuff, some of my videos, that type of thing. It's kind of a little bit of a mix. Now, you're welcome to have a copy of the syllabus open or print one out so you can check dates and do things. It's not really designed, it's timed so that you should have read everything before you begin. But if you need to look up a date or something, that's fine as well. As a matter of fact, on all the exams in this class, if you want to look things up, you're welcome to do it. You won't probably, even though some of these exams have 3-hour time limits or 4-hour time limits, I forget how long the longest one is, you can look things up and that's fine. But the exams are not set up where it's a question like, what does this word mean? That type of thing. It's work a logic problem. And if you haven't kind of studied how to work a logic problem, if you don't understand the terminology, you're probably not going to be able to do it very quickly. Those times are set for you to be able to have time to work problems. But in this one, you know, once again, you can look up some of the syllabus information. The other half of that exam is over this, what is philosophy? So make sure to read through that. It's going to ask you questions like what's epistemology, metaphysics, you know, aesthetics, ethics, different things like that. And that's where that comes in. So that's what the exam is. It's not really too big a deal. This module is only 1 week. Typically, all the modules end on Mondays. This is the one exception. The reason is the Monday, January 18th is Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And so as a result, we don't have class. We get a chance to observe and honor Dr. King. And so if you you can have an extra day, so you can come back the next day when you're not, you know, out of school to be able to finish that. Okay, getting to know you, make sure to introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about you. And as far as it goes, make sure to kind of read through other people's and reply to at least 2 people's to say, hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, I also share this interest, things like that. Just kind of interact a little bit, get to know your classmates. It's always interesting to do that. I will try to respond to all of yours, and I'll also try to write my own introductory post, probably in the first couple days. This module is only 1 week. It's the only one that's like that. And so I, take note of that. I already talked about MindTap, but as a reminder, I would encourage you before you finish this module, before you take the exam or right after you take the exam, to make sure you have signed up for MindTap. We will use it in future modules. And if there's a problem, and in the past there's occasionally been a problem, I had a problem a couple years ago with some codes that were bad, and that was a whole issue that, it's a long story, but it was a whole issue with them changing some of the codes and changing some of their systems. But because of that, it ended up being just a big pain. And it took like a week or 2 to get some of that stuff straightened out. So I always encourage people to sign up for MindTap as soon as possible. And so I'm going to give that reminder once again here. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Good luck. And I think that's about it.